I found one interesting person from the WordCamp, like working for the film also, because I am also from the film background. I also used to be a short film director in the past. The company behind me is also named from my film company.
Ah,
I have read your profile, like you are also uh, doing films and WordCamp also. Now, this is
mhm.
a casual talk about WordCamp and WordPress and journey of
Yeah.
WordPresser and opinion, collecting opinion from the WordPresser to show our community how they take WordPress as their career or business and other things. And this time, Goi Dolphy is organizing a kind of a game program, like asking a 5 question, like a factor of WordPress that we rank based on our own experience, our own opinion, like not from the fact and our development things. And this is the show. Thank you so much for being the part of this community. And then
Mhm.
thank you so much for being part of this session also. Let's start with your introduction and we'll have conversation for following by your introduction.
Yeah, okay, okay. My name is Enrico Battocchi. I come from Italy. I live in Tuscany, near Pisa, and I'm a developer. I'm the lead developer for Yoast. I work at the Yoast SEO plugins for SEO, it's been like 4 years now. I'm also part of the Italian community, the WordPress Italian community. In this WordCamp Europe, I'm one of the organizers. And I've been involved as a speaker or as an organizer to different WordCamps in Italy and Europe in the past.
Yeah, it's about building a website for WordCamp Europe. Like IT team is doing that things and all the design thing, or what is the main kind of work on your organizing team?
And I'm in the IT team, and we manage the WordCamp organization is quite complicated. The WordCamp Europe one, so we have a lot of different tools, accounts, in different services to manage the mailing lists, the forms for the attendees, for the speakers, managing the mail, etc. And so we handle all these things, giving the credentials, checking that everything is working as expected. We work also on the website actually, in this case, not me directly, but also we manage the communication, for example, to make sure that the connection during the event is going fine, that everything is fine on the technical side, let's say, for connection and all these tools.
Yeah, publishing news and publishing progress and other things are also under the website.
Yeah.
Okay, in terms of ease of use, how do you rank the WordPress? Like considering the interface and available tool, how easy do you find using WordPress for building website and managing website? Like you can rate it from very difficult to very easy. It's from 1 to 10.
Yeah, I would say a full 8, a good 8, score of 8. Quite easy. That definitely easy to use WordPress, because I could see that its usability was already good from the beginning. So you could always set up a site with a few clicks. At least to start, and then build in time and improve in time. the recent developments about the site editor, for example, about the block editor, are making it even easier, you know, to customize without looking for a theme that really suits your needs, you know, and having to customize that with code. Now it's mostly something where you really can design with blocks, etc. If you really want to start, of course, if you want to move to something which is more advanced, more customized, also about functionality, you will need plugins, you will need custom development, etc. But at least now you can focus, you know, on these things, on the actual code part, while the design part, etc., has become easier in time.
Yeah, it's like setting website with WordPress is very easy. Like you can do it with a single click, and hosting company are also providing this kind of wizard,
Yeah.
installing WordPress, creating site in one click. That
Exactly.
is the main factor of WordPress also. Let me go to the other section like customization and flexibility. Like how do you rate the customization and flexibility in terms of themes, plugins, and design option like page builder, and you will also get all the kind of customization option also. How do you rate this?
Yeah, I would say a 9 in that case, because I can really see that there are, for example, plugins for almost any need you can think of, in a way. So really, most of the cases you can find already a solution, or find a solution that can be used as a sort of the starting point, you know, and then you can apply your custom solution. For example, you can also learn from this example. You can find documentation about the hooks, for example, about the functions, and I can see that it's very powerful. I give it a 9 instead of a 10, because of course there is still some more complicated things, where you need something that not you can't really do inside WordPress, but you know, around looking, considering the server, etc. In some cases, you can see some limitation that was there from the early days, let's say, of WordPress. But I can see that you have a real set of tools, you know, to use after all, to add your custom solution.
Yeah, because like the plugins, the tools like Elementor and other things have just minimized the workload for the developer and other things, because simple people can build their website from the page. That is
Yeah.
this is for the design perspective only. The WordPress and site is also about the functionality and other things also. That is a different thing and different
Yeah.
expect based on the person, like designer or developer or other things. Okay.
Exactly.
Do you have any experience about the e-commerce capability? Like we are also ranking WordPress for that kind of factor also. How do you rate your experience with the WordPress for the e-commerce? Not only e-commerce, you can also relate this with the subscription things, and you can also relate this with the ad campaign and other things also, just by managing order, email, and other things. How do you rate the e-commerce capability for the WordPress?
Well, I would say like a 7, probably. I've been setting up some e-commerces in the past, when I was a freelancer, and I could see that it's pretty powerful. Of course, you cannot do that with a plain normal WordPress, but you need to use plugins. There are a lot of plugins there anyway. On the other hand, I can see that the commerce field is something that's really complicated. You may have you need to know about, for example, your laws. About the product that you want to sell, about your customers. So you have it's very complicated. You have, like the one fits all solution after all. So this is something that in a way affects. It's not really a fault for WordPress in a way, but you still need to work a lot. It's not something that you can easily set up with just 2 clicks and start selling. Of course, if you want to do that well, of course, and follow the laws and set up a nice user experience for your customers.
User experience and setup wizard are also helpful for the website building, because there are lots of things like shipping and order and tax and other things also. You need to manage inventory also. That should be well documented. And yes, websites are building in different scenario like blogging, newspaper, e-commerce, and other things. WordPress should manage that sector also, because Shopify is getting popular these days now.
Yeah.
We need to
definitely
that also. And yeah, learning resources and the community support of WordCamp is WordPress is also great. And how do you rate the availability of quality of learning resources, like quality of learning, not jungle of other things, and community supports. How do you rate this factor for the WordPress?
Yeah, I would say probably something like 6, which is, I mean, a sort of average, considering that this is something that involves lots of parts, lots of different factors. So I can see that, for example, there are a lot of the support of the community can be really useful, but it may depend, for example, from your language, whether your language, for example, is really supported, or your question, your field of interest is supported, is known, and so you can find a lot of people, that are experiencing the same problem and are willing to help. In that case, you will find definitely, people willing to help, but it could be that it's hard to find them in the first place. Let's say not because they're not willing, of course. On the other hand, I can see that there are a lot of resources, both directly from the WordPress.org community, in the sense of, for example, the developer docs, etc. They have some limitations, but they're quite complete, and you can find in forums, etc. a lot of use cases and learn a lot. On the other hand, I can see that, for example, tutorials and guides, the most useful ones, at least in my experience, are usually provided by third-party companies, not necessarily by the community, which is okay, of course. That's great, that some communities involved, they sponsor WordCamps, and they give resources to the community, giving back to the community. That's nice, but on the other hand, I would like to see, the documentation, the tutorials, etc., improved by the community, covering more languages, for example, as I said, more use cases, etc. So let's hope that this is the what will happen in the future.
Yeah, that's also a kind a point to be noted kind of thing. The language barrier is also a difficulty for everyone, because everyone do not understand English and do not cannot speak English fluently, and something like that. We need to work on that. So point is 6 for this question. Your point is
Yeah, six, a sort of average in a way. You know, it's not so high, definitely not so low. It's there in the middle in a way, because you need to consider, you know, that there are these
Yeah,
problems
right.
that they
Yeah.
level up. You know.
Your point is very strong on that. Okay. For the adaptability to the new technology
Mhm.
with WordPress, how do you think WordPress adapt to new technology and trends like mobile responsiveness? And we also talk about the data processing, data management, and AI things. Also, we can also talk about the new design standards based on
Mhm.
our experience and based on our opinion. Like, how do you rate the how quickly it adapt the new technology?
Mhm. I would say a 4, so a bit lower, you know, than the other answers, because I can see that at least in some cases there has been some movement in the right direction, but I can see that in other cases it's not so clear. For example, how far WordPress itself wants to work in these directions, thinking about AI, for example, the design standards that you mentioned, or whether this is something, you know, that comes from the plugins, for example, from other projects. So. Which could be a way. Of course, it's not that WordPress, the project,
Yeah, it's
the
not.
WordPress project needs, you know, to cover everything
Yeah.
after all. But it should be a bit clearer, you know, in a way, what should be the policy, you know, the approach to new technologies, and decide, okay, we want to stick to a certain path, to certain decisions, you know. Also because it can also happen that, okay, you hear about AI, let's jump on the AI train, you know,
Right.
just because some core developer is interested into that. Instead, it should be like a shared decision, you know, something that should be discussed by the community and decided beforehand. Okay, let's when we see that we have some perspective, you know, some direction, some decision to make. This should be the process, you know, to discuss and to have a shared decision in the end, you know. And this is something where work is still needed, in my opinion.
Yeah, because it is open source and lots of people are working and lots of people are dependent on this platform. Like we have also experienced that problem on building on Gutenberg editor. Like they they started with React and they just announced one news that they will shift to the Vue, and we just like, oh, we need
Yeah,
to study about Vue also, but they haven't switched that.
yeah.
That is also a, like a quick decision. Okay, for the overall satisfaction to the
Mhm.
WordPress, based on your experience, like how you started your career on WordPress and how you stand now, how do you rate? Like it's from 1 to 10. How
Mhm.
do you share your experience, or how do you rank that?
Well, I would say probably at least an 8, definitely. I would be tempted to say 9, but I wouldn't want to be too generous because I love WordPress. You know, I'm part of the community. I've been working with WordPress since 2007 or so.
Mm.
So, you know,
Mhm.
I'm really familiar with that. But I can see that it's very powerful. Of course, it has some limitations. It can perform maybe not so good compared to some other platforms which are designed for a certain goal. You mentioned Shopify, for example. But on the other hand, the fact that for example, you can really tailor your solution, and most importantly for me, it's open source. This is something that run by a community, sees the community participating, and you can install that on your server, migrate to another server, and you're always in control of your data, for example, of the content of your website, of your project, your e-commerce, and you can always decide what to do with that. This is something that has no value, you know, compared in the good sense. You know, it's invaluable. It's something that definitely wins, you know, any comparison, you know, with any other tool that instead is closed source, run by a company where you need to pay a fee, and you never know if you will be supported for how long, and things like that. So with all the problems that WordPress might still have, these things definitely make it the go-to solution, you know, the first choice for any idea that I have when I want to set up a project, a website for me.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's awesome. Lots of people are giving it for this point. I don't know why. This was just give the point to for the we need to find that the backend place to fulfill and take it into 10.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for sharing your experience. It's very insightful, and we have discussed about lots more about project and other things. Also, our experience, like you have working with the WordPress and community from since 2007. Like it started, I have started in 2015.
We have seen a lot of changes, you know, and in the past history of WordPress. So we can see from where it started, you know, and how powerful it has become
we are comparing the WordPress with this time, so we are giving it. But if we think from the origin of the WordPress,
yeah, exactly,
more than 10. It's more than 10.
No, absolutely. I hope that this was useful for you.
Yeah.
My answers,
Yeah, it's very useful because we are collecting the opinion in the friendly way. Like this is a friendly talk, and this conversation can help some people who can start their career in WordPress or doing job or doing other things in WordPress also. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being the part of this and part of this show also. We will publish this video in our later days or weeks. We'll edit this. If you have anything, you can also contact us. If you
okay.
Have
Thank you for having me.
Okay, have fun. Most probably you will also have some travel plan for Italy or other thing also for this WordCamp. Beside WordCamp, most probably you will also visit or stay longer here.
I have some parts of my family in Torino, so I know the city. I always love to come to Torino. So at the moment, I'm enjoying the WordCamp atmosphere, etc. So it's very exciting to see such a big event, you know, in Italy finally. So yeah. It will be awesome. It's already awesome.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.